And now for something completely different, a conceptual design that we found in Business Insider for a new kind of skyscraper in Manhattan. Now, this skyscraper is not technologically possible yet because we don't have the materials technology, but the conceptual design was put together by a New York architectural firm called Clouds Architecture Office. And the idea is this: New York City has enormous restrictions now on the construction of new skyscrapers, as well as it should. There are height restrictions. To get around these restrictions, this architecture firm has proposed a skyscraper that would be hung from cables and attached to an asteroid orbiting the Earth, just to get around height restrictions. So, since it wouldn't touch the ground, the designers say the height restrictions would not apply to this asteroid. Now, the city probably hasn't zoned for floating buildings. They call it the Analemma Tower. It would be the world's tallest building. Nobody's planning to build it, but it would be the tallest building. They would, according to this theoretical design, it would be constructed in Dubai and then floated to New York City, where it would hover over the city, hanging from an orbiting asteroid approximately 50,000 kilometers above ground level. Offices would populate the lower two-thirds of the building. The upper third would be residences. I'm not sure who would want to live there. They also don't say how you would get from the ground to the bottom floor of the building, which to me is an essential part of the conceptual design. But they do point out that you would avoid floods, earthquakes, and tsunamis by being suspended off the ground. And since, according to current projections, New York City, Wall Street, all the way up to 34th Street is eventually going to be underwater as a result of climate change, that would, of course, be a useful thing to have. Now, what are the lessons from this building? One is that when it comes to thwarting regulations, the human imagination is unlimited in its creativity. So hats off to Clouds Architecture Office for even thinking of this. Lesson number 2 is that when it comes to the runaway wealth in New York City, where half the population is below the poverty level, but some of the richest people live, their imagination knows no bounds. And lesson number 3, the wealthy people on Wall Street are not tethered to the same planet that the rest of us are.